ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. April Warren Grice, and I am the founder and CEO of Liberated Genius. And we have an exciting event coming up. It's called Celebrating Black Educators 2020. It's going to take place January 26th at Innovation Hall. And right behind me, we have Dr. Amber Jones from Harris Stowe State University, and we have Dr. Jerome Morris from University of Missouri St. Louis. And what they're going to do, they're going to be Dr. Morris is going to be our keynote speaker, and Amber is going to be our discussant and lead the Q&A. And so they're just going to tell us why this event is so important, and they're going to share a little bit about themselves. So let's just get to it. So, Dr. Jerome Morris, tell us about yourself.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jerome Morris, and I am the E. Desmond Lee Endowed Professor of Urban Education at the University of Missouri St. Louis. Years ago, I'm also one of the co-founders of a group called Education for Liberation. So one of the things that I hope to get from this is I would like for the educators to come away empowered, but also to understand that education is a liberatory process, one that frees their mind so that they can better do the work that they do.
Thank you. All right, Dr. Jones.
And I'm Dr. Amber Jones. I'm Assistant Professor of Educational Studies at Harris Stowe State University. I study the history of Black education, specifically historical African American pedagogical networks and models. By that, I mean just the networks that were set up to support Black educators through how to teach Black children, how to instill not only the skills in them, but also the attitudes in them that they would need to create a world that didn't exist yet. And so I study all of those things and how they relate to teacher education today and just our state of Black education today.
Awesome.
I know even though my title says Professor of Urban Education, my work is in the sociology and anthropology of education, with a specific interest in how educational reforms shape African American education. And so that's really what I do, and that's the work that I've been doing for years.
Awesome. So, Dr. Jones, tell us, why are you involved in this work? Why is this event so important?
This event is so important because when I think about celebrating Black educators, I think about not only the history of Black education that has so many inspiring stories of how Black educators have contributed not only to Black education but to just improving American education. But I also think about the Black educators that are in service, pre-service right now, and all of the special things that they bring into their classrooms that are so important for Black children and all children in our classrooms. And so I think that this event is incredibly important because I believe in naming those heroes that came before us and really using that legacy to improve where we are today.
Great.
And I'm interested in this event because I really was impressed by you, Dr. April Warren Grice, and having a vision to bring this into existence a couple of years ago. You know, during a time when people were really thinking about what are the roles of Black educators today, you were in the forefront of really highlighting this and really focusing on St. Louis. And one of the things that I've been interested in terms of my work over the years has been like how these policies impact Black educators. And so my work is not directly in teacher ed, but it is in educational reform and policy. So one of the things I've been interested in is how are Black educators' voices, or why are their voices often being ignored, dismissed, or forgotten? And so I'm very much interested in the forgotten voices of Black people in general, but specifically in terms of what you're doing here, the forgotten voices of Black educators. So we want to know, how do you interpret the ways in which these various policies, practices, what are your thoughts on those? We want to know that. And that's why I'm here, because I think it's important, as Dr. Jones and I are going to do, you are in the trenches day to day in terms of what's going on, but we're also to help you understand that you are part of a larger tradition, that tradition that grows out of the ancestors of people who brought us here and all of these things. So we're here to say there's a framework, a way of thinking in terms of what's going on today, and we have to work together, not just bridging theory and practice. It's really about bridging communities so that we're working collectively for the liberation of Black people.
Great. Dr. Jones, before we got on camera, you talked about being seen. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. One thing when we were talking about what we wanted people to feel at this event is I want Black educators to feel seen. I want your efforts to feel seen. I want your struggles to feel seen and feel like you can be part of this larger St. Louis community that is putting together strategies to deal with the struggles, but also celebrating all of the victories that we've had in our own individual classrooms. So I wanted to make sure that all Black educators, especially part of this event, feel like they're part of something larger.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've just heard from two amazing scholars who are just going to give it to us and help us to celebrate ourselves because the reality is, who else is doing it? Who else has said thank you to Black educators? I'll wait. I don't know. I don't know. But on this day, January 26, 2020, at Innovation Hall from 2 to 5, we want to say thank you and we want to celebrate you because your presence is enough. Your energy, your service, it oftentimes goes overlooked, it's dismissed, and it's just forgotten about. Or somebody else say the same thing, and then they get the credit for it. So again, this day is to celebrate Black educators, and that's what we want to do. So we hope to see you again January 26, 2020. Check us out on Eventbrite, and you can look up Celebrating Black Educators 2020. Hope to see you soon.